Using your social capital for a man who had his court date pushed back so he can make it to the Super Bowl and then lose. It's truly embarrassing.
Offset, 1/3 of Migos. A name that used to run hip-hop is now lying in a hospital bed after a shooting at a Florida casino. And it gets worse. Behind the scenes, there are claims he was scrambling for money, even reaching out to his estranged wife, Cardi B, just to stay afloat. How does someone fall from that high to this low? This whole situation didn't just happen overnight, it exploded from a single night that spiraled out of control. It all started on Monday night, April 6th, 2026. Offset was at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida, when everything went left.
Shoot, let me ask the audience. It is embarrassing for someone as talented as you are to be associated with a man who has multiple accusations, charges, lawsuits, and lost the Super Bowl.
Gunshots rang out, chaos broke loose, and Offset ended up being rushed straight to Memorial Regional Hospital. His team confirmed it. He had been shot, but thankfully he was stable and under heavy monitoring. Still, the image of a superstar laid up in a hospital hit people hard. Then the internet did what it always does. It dug deeper. Footage started spreading everywhere, allegedly showing Lil J going after Offset inside the casino. Reports quickly tied the situation to a $10,000 gambling debt. Offset supposedly refused to pay, but that number, that was just the surface.
We don't see him hyping you up. Matter of fact, when he was asked about if you were going to get a ring, he joked and said he got a...
Other claims suggested the real debt could be as high as $900,000 from borrowed gambling money. This wasn't just one bad night. This looked like a long-term problem finally blowing up. And this tension, it had been building for a while. Months before any shots were fired, Lil J had already been calling Offset out publicly. Back in January 2025, during a Twitch stream, Jay claimed Offset was living off Cardi B and dealing with a serious gambling habit. He even said he saw Offset asking people for money at casinos. And he didn't keep those comments quiet. He took them everywhere.
Let them go. Y'all are bigger and better without them. Y'all are doing phenomenal things that y'all do not need to be attached to these trash memes.
Instagram, Twitch, interviews, Jay kept repeating the same accusations. He called Offset broke, said he owed him money, and made sure the world heard about that $10,000 debt. So when both of them ended up in the same casino that Monday night, it was never going to be a calm encounter. At the Seminole Hard Rock, things escalated fast. What started as words turned physical and then turned into gunfire. After the shooting, Lil J was detained outside the casino. Police later charged him with disorderly conduct, a first-degree misdemeanor under Florida law. But here's where it gets interesting. There were no weapons charges filed. His legal team wasted no time stepping in. Attorney Don Florio pushed back hard, saying Lil J had not been shot and was not charged with any shooting-related offense, calling any reports claiming otherwise completely false. That statement only added more confusion to an already messy situation. Then things got even louder online. TMZ dropped footage showing Offset in a hospital gown, casually smoking. That clip alone sent social media into chaos. People couldn't believe what they were seeing. Someone who had just been shot, laid up in a hospital, still moving like nothing happened. And once Lil J got out, he turned the heat all the way up. He went on camera and called Offset a rat, claiming Offset pointed him out to authorities after the incident. He even mocked the situation, describing how Offset allegedly reacted after being shot. Now the story wasn't just about violence. It became about reputation, loyalty, and street credibility. So now you've got Offset shot in a casino, recovering in a hospital, going viral for that footage, and getting labeled a snitch all at once. But the real question people started asking wasn't just who pulled the trigger, it was something deeper. How did Offset even end up in a position where he owed money like this in the first place? To understand that, you have to rewind to where it all started. Offset, born Kiari Kendrell Cephas, rose to fame as part of Migos alongside Quavo and Takeoff. They weren't just successful, they were everywhere. Albums like Culture and Culture too dominated charts, and their influence stretched across music, fashion, and pop culture. At their peak, the money was unreal. Between 2017 and 2018, Migos reportedly made $25 million, performing nearly 100 shows in a single year. The following year, even bigger, $36 million. They weren't just artists, they were a full-blown movement. The jewelry, the cars, the lifestyle, it all looked endless. But behind that success, cracks were forming. By 2022, rumors of a breakup started heating up. Reports claimed Offset had crossed the line involving Quavo's ex, Saweetie, and that betrayal hit deeper than business. It was family. These weren't just group members, they were related. Then came the moment that changed everything. On November 1st, 2022, Takeoff was killed outside a Houston bowling alley during a dispute over a dice game he wasn't even part of. He was only 28 and described as an innocent bystander. The situation was heartbreaking, and now, years later, another gambling-related situation has put Offset in the hospital. That parallel is hard to ignore. Even before all this, Offset was already dealing with serious issues behind the scenes. He had a legal battle with his label, Quality Control Music, over the rights to his solo career. He claimed he paid millions for his freedom, yet still had to fight for it. The case eventually got dropped, but not before draining time, energy, and money. His music career also started losing momentum. His solo projects didn't hit the same, and one of his later albums reportedly underperformed commercially. With Migos no longer active, that major income stream slowed down, but his lifestyle didn't. The mansions, cars, jewelry, entourage, it all kept costing money. And while Cardi B continued leveling up, breaking records and stacking millions, Offset's financial direction seemed to be going the opposite way. On paper, Offset's net worth was estimated around $40 million, compared to Cardi's $100 million. But with everything coming out, people started questioning how solid that number really was. Then came the tax problems, and they were serious. The IRS hit Offset with a $1.5 million tax bill for 2022. Documents showed he owed over $1.57 million, and that debt had been sitting there since 2024. And that wasn't even the only one. Another lien added nearly $500,000 for 2023 taxes. On top of that, the Georgia Department of Revenue came after him for over $292,000 from 2021. When you stack it all together, the total climbs toward $800,000, and that's just what's publicly known. And since tax liens are public records, everyone could see it happening in real time. The pressure wasn't hidden, it was out in the open. Then add legal trouble to the mix. A Miami judge awarded $232,000 to two individuals who claimed Offset assaulted them. That's another financial hit, another situation draining money. So now you've got taxes, lawsuits, declining music income, and a high-cost lifestyle all hitting at once. That kind of pressure pushes people toward risky decisions. And in Offset's case, it seems like gambling became that outlet. Research already shows gambling can wreck finances. Studies have linked sports betting to rising debt, lower credit scores, and even increased bankruptcy rates. And if reports about Offset owing close to $1 million are true, he wasn't immune to any of it. Lil J even claimed he saw Offset panicking inside a casino. That one word, panicking, says a lot. And then there's Cardi B, which might be the most revealing part of this entire situation. Their relationship has been messy for years. Married in 2017, multiple breakups, public drama, it's been anything but stable. Cardi first filed for divorce in 2020, they got back together, then split again in 2023. By 2024, she filed once more, and this time it looked serious. But Offset didn't back off quietly. In 2025, he filed for joint custody and even requested spousal support. That alone raised eyebrows. Then Cardi went public, and she did not hold back. She accused Offset of not helping financially with their kids, claiming she was covering major expenses on her own. She said she pays $10,000 a month just for a driver, and their daughter's school costs $45,000 a year. She also claimed Offset hadn't contributed to those costs for over a year. On top of that, she accused him of barely being present, saying he had only seen their youngest child a handful of times. Then came the most shocking part. During a live stream, Cardi said, "The only reason why I'm still married is because somebody wants me to pay for their taxes." She went even further, claiming she felt stuck unless she paid millions and gave up property just to finalize the divorce. And according to her, that somebody was Offset. He wasn't just asking for a normal split, not even close. Reports say Offset pushed for spousal support while claiming Cardi left him with the kids during her pregnancy with her fourth child, her first with NFL star Stefon Diggs. And then came the real shock. He allegedly wanted a 70-30 split of their assets in his favor. In a situation where Cardi's net worth is way higher, that kind of demand raised serious eyebrows. If that deal actually went through, Cardi could have been looking at paying over $50 million to her ex. And Offset reportedly stood firm, saying, "I built her brand. I deserve half." He wasn't backing down either. He claimed he played a major role in her rise, supporting her early on, connecting her with the right people, and helping boost her visibility when she was still coming up. The argument basically comes down to this. Offset believed that without his co-sign, Cardi B might not have reached the level she did, that he helped open doors, helped amplify her image, and helped shape her early success. Whether that claim really holds up is up for debate, but what is clear is how far apart they were. Because by November 2025, things hit another level. Cardi reportedly offered a $10 million settlement to end it all, and Offset said no, flat out rejected it. $10 million wasn't enough for him, and that decision said everything about how intense this situation had become. At the same time, Cardi B was still winning. By 2026, her net worth sat around $100 million. She had a new album, Am I the Drama, making noise, her career was still booming, and her personal life had moved forward. Meanwhile, Offset was dealing with the opposite reality: tax debt, legal issues, gambling losses, and a music career that wasn't bringing in the same money anymore. The contrast is wild. This is the same man who once interrupted Cardi's concert with $15,000 worth of roses, publicly begging her to take him back. Now things flipped completely. Instead of grand gestures, it turned into financial pressure, legal demands, and what looked like a struggle just to stay afloat. So after everything, the shooting, the hospital footage, being called a rat on camera by Lil J, what does Offset's situation really look like right now? It paints a picture that's hard to ignore. This looks like a man stuck in a cycle that keeps getting worse. Gambling addiction is a real condition, recognized medically, affecting a small percentage of adults. But for those caught in it, the damage can be huge. Over 20% of compulsive gamblers end up filing for bankruptcy, and the strain destroys relationships, with divorce rates significantly higher than average. The pattern is almost always the same: borrowing money from friends, family, or anyone willing to help, hiding losses, and then chasing bigger wins to recover what's already gone. And when personal funds dry up, the borrowing only gets more desperate. That lines up with what Lil J described. He claimed he saw Offset inside a casino, stressed out, trying to borrow money. He said he personally lent him $5,000 and that Offset owed him over $10,000. And according to multiple reports, That was just one piece of a much bigger situation that could total close to $900,000 in gambling-related debt. While all this is happening, the divorce with Cardi B is still dragging on. Filed back in July 2024 and still not finalized. The financial demands, the disagreements over assets, it's all unresolved. Offset turned down $10 million and is still pushing for more. Meanwhile, the bills don't stop, the debts keep building, and the pressure keeps rising. And there's another layer to this story that makes it even more intense. Lil J himself survived being shot multiple times in 2022 during a robbery attempt. Now he knows exactly what that kind of situation feels like. Yet despite that history, this confrontation still escalated to gunfire. That shows just how serious things can get over money like this. What might sound like just $10,000 can turn into something much bigger when pride, pressure, and personal issues get involved. At its core, the Offset story is all about contrast. On one side, you've got a man who helped build a group that once made $36 million in a single year. Someone who shaped the sound of modern hip-hop and lived at the very top. And on the other side, you've got the same person now dealing with lawsuits, debts, public drama, and a situation that keeps spiraling. And that contrast only gets sharper the deeper you look, because this isn't just about money disappearing, it's about how fast everything can flip when the foundation isn't stable. At one point, Offset was part of a system that printed money. Tours, brand deals, streaming checks, features, it was non-stop. When you're moving like that, it's easy to believe the flow will never end. The problem is, when that machine slows down or breaks apart, reality hits different. Migos splitting up wasn't just a creative change, it was a financial earthquake. That group chemistry, that shared spotlight, that consistent demand, gone. And replacing that level of income as a solo artist is way harder than people think. Not every hit translates, not every project lands, and suddenly the safety net disappears. But the expenses, they don't disappear. If anything, they grow. Bigger homes, more obligations, people depending on you, expectations to maintain an image, it all adds pressure. And when income drops, but spending stays the same, that gap starts turning into a problem real fast. That's where risky decisions start creeping in. Because when someone is used to making millions, taking a step back doesn't feel like an option, it feels like losing. And for some, gambling starts to look like a shortcut, a quick win, a fast comeback, a way to get back on top without waiting. But that's the illusion, because gambling isn't built for you to win long term. The system is designed the other way around. And once you start chasing losses, it becomes a cycle that's hard to break. One loss turns into 2, then into 10. And before you know it, you're not playing to win anymore. You're playing to survive. That's why those reports about Offset potentially owing close to $900,000 hit so hard, because that kind of number doesn't come from one bad night. That comes from repeated risks, mounting losses, and decisions stacking on top of each other. And when you combine that with public pressure, it gets even worse. Every move gets watched, every rumor spreads instantly, and every mistake gets amplified. So instead of dealing with problems privately, everything plays out in front of millions of people. That's exactly what's happening here. The shooting, the debt rumors, the divorce drama, it's all happening at the same time, in full view of the public. And that kind of exposure adds another layer of stress that most people never have to deal with. Then there's the reputation side of it. Being called a rat on camera isn't just an insult. It hits at identity, credibility, and how someone is viewed in their world. Whether it's true or not, once that label starts circulating, it sticks. And in certain circles, that kind of narrative can have serious consequences. So now Offset isn't just dealing with financial pressure, he's dealing with image pressure too. And those two things combined, that's a heavy weight for anyone. At the same time, Cardi B's success keeps highlighting the gap. She's still dominating, still growing, still building her brand. Every new win on her side makes Offset's struggles stand out even more. Not because she's doing anything wrong, but because the difference is impossible to ignore. And that adds another emotional layer to everything. Because it's not just about losing money. It's about watching someone you were once aligned with continue to rise while you're trying to figure things out. That kind of situation can either push someone to rebuild or push them deeper into bad decisions. And right now, based on everything coming out, it looks like Offset is still stuck in the middle of that crossroads. The truth is, stories like this aren't rare. They just don't always happen this publicly. The combination of fast money, high pressure, lifestyle expectations, and risky habits has taken down a lot of careers before. The difference here is that every step is being documented in real time, and people are watching closely, not just because it's dramatic, but because it feels unpredictable. One moment, he's recovering in a hospital. The next, he's trending online. The next, there are new claims about money, lawsuits, or personal issues. It creates this sense that anything could happen next. And that's what keeps the attention locked in. Because at this point, the story isn't just about how things went wrong, it's about what happens next. Does he stabilize and rebuild, or does the cycle keep pulling him deeper? Right now, there's no clear answer, and that uncertainty, that's what makes this situation feel even bigger than just headlines. On the other side of all this, you've got a man laid up in a hospital bed with a gunshot wound, surrounded by problems that don't pause just because he's injured. Owing money to the IRS, the state of Georgia, Lil TJ, casino creditors nobody even fully knows, and at the same time trying to secure as much money as possible from his ex-wife. Through a messy divorce, that's not just pressure, that's everything crashing in at once. And what makes it heavier is the family in the middle of it all. Offset and Cardi B were together for nearly 7 years and share 3 kids, Culture, Wave, and Blossom. Those kids are growing up watching this play out in real time. The headlines, the arguments, the financial battles. It's not just internet drama for them, it's real life. Their father is the same man now being linked to nearly $1 million in gambling debt. The same man dealing with massive tax lines and legal issues. The same man who ended up getting shot in a casino over money that allegedly wasn't paid back. That contrast hits different when you realize there are children connected to every part of this story. And then there's the big question hanging over everything. If Cardi B does agree to a huge settlement, what happens next? Does that money actually fix anything? Or does it just buy time before the same cycle repeats itself again? Because history shows something very clear. When patterns like this don't change at the root, money doesn't solve the problem, it just delays it. And in cases tied to gambling habits, that pattern can be hard to break without serious change. So even if millions come through that divorce settlement, there's no guarantee it won't disappear the same way other money allegedly has. That's not speculation. That's the reality of how these cycles tend to play out when nothing shifts underneath. And Cardi already hinted at how she sees it. During that live stream, she made it clear this situation doesn't feel like love anymore. It feels like leverage, like pressure, like being forced into a corner where the only way out is paying a massive price. At this point, this isn't a relationship story anymore, it's a high-stakes negotiation. And the number being thrown around isn't small, it's millions. Money that could either reset everything or vanish just as fast, depending on what happens next. And that's where this story leaves everyone watching. Not with a clean ending, but with a question mark. Because the next move matters more than everything that already happened. If you've been following this whole situation, you already know this isn't just another headline. It's a real-time spiral playing out in front of millions. So what do you think? Does this turn into a comeback? Or does it go even further downhill? Make sure you tap in, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who's been keeping up with the story. Because this situation is still unfolding, and you already know more twists could be right around the corner.